a company called Line It Up, boxing program. Law enforcement is getting 10%. Fire department is getting 10%. Nurses union is getting 10%. Chauncey already got the articles and everything. We've already done all this.
Man, we gonna go file.
What we need to do now is
sovereignty and be able to carry our straps.
I'm already
I could carry. I got my shit clear. I could carry a firearm. I could buy
Professor
a firearm.
Melly Mail, the hood postman.
Legally right now.
I have a dude.
Got Goldie right there.
Boys. I got AKs from 1200 guns
For sure.
from 6 to 8 handguns.
Got
But I'm
my
talking
man
about
Devin.
This is a legit.
Because you know this is not an open and carry state.
Bro, I have a legit fire.
If no, all we got to do is get a security and get bonded and own a security office.
No, you
And
don't.
that's man.
I can apply right now.
That's what I can do
apply
right
for
now.
you. I can apply as
So
an
when
ex-con.
my tribe rises, when we
I
walk
can-
in, nigga, we strapped up.
I can apply
but
right
we
now
disciplined.
as an ex-con in Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
Listen.
And they say it's still good here.
In Tennessee, because of the new laws in most states, that if you are licensed in the state to carry, come on to California. You can cross state lines now. That bill has passed.
You good. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that too.
I can't carry the concealed weapon.
No.
But
It
if my
gotta be
shit is on my
exposed.
hip or my shit is
Exposed?
exposed, you can't say a damn thing.
So,
Right,
Devin,
and
is this a perfect time to talk about the Madison Doctrine?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Explain that Madison
The
Doctrine.
Madison Doctrine is not, when people say that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and it had nothing to do with that. People forget that there was a whole nother party. There was a Democrat Party, a Union Party, and a Republican Party. The Union Party was mainly the forces in which was fighting to free and change what people fail to understand today is they were trying to get rid of the 13 colonies in the European way of thinking. But Abraham Lincoln, vice president being a Democrat, made a deal that they could no longer establish any colonies within the Western Hemisphere, yet the 13 colonies and law enforcement and everything in which they've already have established here are going to be left alone and unchecked.
Love you guys.
Which is our judicial
Likewise.
system today. They'll tell you that it's not, but any member of the Bar Association is a sovereign citizen of the laws in which they are forced upon us, unless you're able to expose them like what I'm working on now. If they attack your constitutional rights, that's what matters. That's it, that's all as an American.
So who are we as black people, man?
Leave me cool.
We got many definitions.
We have many identities and our identity has been stripped and stolen to a degree. Now, the best way that I can tell a black man to find himself is follow the teachings of Damon Marley and the Marley family. You'll catch up.
Why is that? Explain.
Because they took the extent to know who they are, because that's what their father instilled in them, and that's what Jamaica instills into a lot of their culture, of who they are, where they come from, and what they are as today. Black America has been fed this lie so much that white man this, white man that, when America is no longer black and white. But it's not the white man that's been lying, it's been the black man in front of the white man that's been lying to us all along.
Who are they?
The house niggas. The Oprah Winfreys of the world. Those that have made it out of this and have made a part of that deal that they're going to forget about us. Because they can't speak on what they know or what. Bro, we got
What about Al and Jesse?
Man, fuck Al Sharpton, Gary Gnu looking motherfucker. And Jesse don't give a fuck about nobody unless you got tight jeans on. Like, matter of fact, where is he? I'm wondering, just like King was when he got killed. Where the fuck was Jesse at? Matter of fact, let me hit you on something. If you remember, somebody go back during this whole last time of this election. Where did you see any of them?
Right.
Oprah Winfrey's. None of them spoke out.
So, Devin, are we black or are we Americans?
We're Americans. Now you have to understand.
I did do the research when I looked at a lot of these political people that are running, white people.
Yes.
Under their name, it says ethnicity, it says American. Then when I look under Barack Obama and a few others, it doesn't say that. So why he's not American?
Because Obama's not American.
What is he?
Forgot it. What Obama all studied? What was Obama doing before he was a president?
You tell me.
A lawyer, correct?
Yeah.
Sovereign of the citizen.
Right.
Sovereign citizens.
Right.
He's a member of the association. Please, that's what people.
So how do you explain when you look at some of these individuals, like the guy David Dupree? When you look up on his ethnicity, it's going to say American, the Leftwich, the girl Leftwich down in Georgia. Look up her ethnicity. It says American. But the two candidates that's running against them, you don't see that. And I was wondering, I was puzzled by that.
Sleep. Or it's on purpose. But like I say, I'm glad you did your study, because a lot of people think, like, people here in Pasadena have boycotted me on Facebook because at first they didn't understand where I was coming from or where I get my knowledge from. But when their own coach Mike, their beloved coach, backed me and started dropping knowledge like I've been doing, it confused them, because you spent 4 years in college and you didn't learn nothing because you chose to accept his education instead of taking your own.
So have you ever went to blackdemographics.com?
No.
It's a lot of information there, brother.
It's a lot of information put there by brothers like me in the prison system.
Yes.
I know this.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to find nothing that here. I mean, if you want some, if you really want to know about
Brother Abu Jamal, political prisoner or murderer?
Political prisoner.
He was set up?
I can tell you a political prisoner right now from here, right here in Pasadena.
Name him.
Carl Holmes. Okay,
Explain.
boom. Sitting on death row right now for a case that he knowingly did, that everybody in Pasadena know he didn't commit. Even the police department, the prosecutor's office know he didn't commit. Danny Carrier is another one. I can sit here and name them off. Both Crips, Bloods, SAs, and everybody. And this is what I'm trying to expose. The Pasadena prosecutor's office is the problem, not the police. The prosecutor, people don't understand that the prosecutor office has more power than the United States Supreme Court.
Is these the same prosecutors that gave you 280 years?
Yes, it is. The same prosecutor that...
For a burglary.
For a vehicle burglary. The same prosecutor that called my supervisor after me exercising her required duties to establish evidence of prosecutorial misconduct in a federal district court against the city of Glendale, called my prosecutor and told him, my parole agent said, if you don't shut this son of a bitch up, I will. At which point, a false warrant was put out for my arrest. I was forced to sign new parole papers saying that I would no longer contact the prosecutor's office.
But it's 280 years, but you standing here with me. How did that happen?
I got myself out through education, learning their system, learning theirs. And this is the problem.
And what did you find out, brother?
The reason why let me put it to you this way. Your First Amendment right clearly states the extent of your education is that both of your privilege and your privacy. When you reach that of the 9th grade, you could tell the government, fuck your school, fuck my parents, I'm emancipating, send me to China, send me to Japan, I'm going to learn their system. But if you choose to go forward to the 10th grade and on and into their college, you're choosing to learn America's system. But if you look at America's education these days, I think we didn't drop. At first we were like 109, I think we're down to like 150, somewhere in that bracket. Why would I choose to send my kid to a poverty education when I could send them to the top 2 educations somewhere else in the world? And if you think I'm lying, any kid watching this, or high school person that's watching this, that was in the 9th grade, and then when you went into the 10th grade, the little white kid that was there is no longer there, but either the Chinese or the Arabic or the Asian or somebody else is in their place for the next 3 years. That's that same foreign exchange program that I'm telling you about, that the government is not going to tell me and you because blacks can't represent America.
So how much time did you spend in prison, Devin?
Total of 24 years, 8 months.
24 years, 8 months. Was you ever part of the UBN?
No.
BL?
No.
How did you avoid it?
No. I mean, Pasadena has a society we uncut. It's self-explanatory. I mean, I don't have nothing against the homies that push it, because right now in society today, we need some kind of structure. But so, not the structure in the wrong way.
So would it be fair to say that you was just in there doing your studies and doing legal work in order to gain your freedom, versus participating in anything else?
Like I told you earlier, some of my homies didn't agree with how I did or what I did, but I put it to you like this. Like I said earlier, I grew up in prison. When you put in a situation where they tell you got 280 years of life and you're supposed to die in prison, you're just supposed to go in there and accept it and lay down and go play basketball or get into fights with the rest of the homies or do dumb shit, I chose not to. I chose to make a difference and be the difference. I'm here standing now. And that's what's scaring the district attorney's office, because I was never supposed to come home. And I ain't even finished.
And you still following against them right at this moment.
I told y'all back in June that Jackie Lacey is coming up out that office. She ain't there. What y'all don't understand right now, we got a dude coming in this office, man. He working with us, not as against us. You hear all the rules that he put out, that he's kicking out this, kicking out that, but what y'all didn't hear is them 20,000 cases from the 90s, he's opening back up.
So another question, have the NAACP or Black Lives Matters or Urban League or any of these black organizations been any help to you?
Okay.
Because I noticed you wearing My Tribe Rise. I know you solid with My Tribe Rise.
My Tribe Rise is yes. Now, I'm solid with one of the members of the NAACP, but I'm going to tell you, like I told him and like I explained to everybody else, I understand what the NAACP circuit is today. See, some years back, there was a bill, Senate bill, put on the NAACP and the ACLUs to basically, you can only fight for certain injustices, mainly dealing with labor rights. Basically today, the NAACP and the ACLUs are no more than labor unions. They don't fight for no injustices in the prison system or in the criminal systems, and I can prove this because me and many others has petitioned injustices like what I'm fighting today and within the correction system. And that's what makes law enforcement officials that I'm fighting scared of me, because I can tell you truths from inside.
So another question, what makes a black man a corporation under federal law?
The black man in a corporation under federal law?
Yes.
It depends on how you incorporate yourself.
No. What I'm saying, when you go in, you get in a legal bind or legal trouble and you have tax problems or whatever the federal crime may be, you automatically become a corporation under federal law.
Well,
whether you want to or not.
Again, as some of my, he probably gonna be mad at this, but I ain't gonna put his whole name out there, but my big homie, Big Rock, T-Rock, you would have to follow the sovereign citizen to understand what that means. Called the straw man. The reason why your name is all capital letters. It started when your mama had to sign your birth certificate coming out the hospital and the Social Security number was attached to you. That's what makes it.
And also there's also a set of numbers that's part of the Federal Reserve.
Exactly. That's your bonded and everything. Yes, it is. And
so they borrow against that bond?
I don't want to really go into that today, but yeah. But like I told you a while ago, I was falsely incarcerated for 15 years. They owe me $1 million a year. They don't even want to talk to me, get me on the bonds, because technically if I go into sovereign citizen because I'm a cheat them out to Indian, they owe me $1.2 million a day.
So are you an Aboriginal?
No, I'm a cheat them out to Indian from Louisiana. My ancestors are cheat them out to Indians, which through my studies, my ancestors, the reason why I was able to expose the Great Britain Bar Association and the judicial system being what it is, because a lot of people in society don't know Louisiana doesn't even have criminal law. They have civil law. Now you would think it's some harsh penalties, but it's not. You can get 100 years in Louisiana and be out in 10 years.
What's the difference between common law and criminal law?
Common law is that of your constitution and just regular common society, common thinking, put it that way. But criminal law is a foreign law. Criminal law comes from that of maritime law. That's why when I told people...
All derived from the Magna Carta?
Yes, that's what I tell people before. Like, let me put you in, for exactly, an argument that you would have to make in the court when people talk about reparations. In a court of law, the first thing you have to prove is that accusatory issue. So we accuse America of enslaving us, or bringing millions of slaves over here from Africa and enslaving us. In a court of law, that would get thrown out. Because it wasn't America that enslaved us. It was the Europeans, the Spaniards, and the Dutch that brought us over here and that sold us. Once America understood that it was a deliberate indifference, it was corrected. But that's what I was talking to you about a while ago when we were talking about the 13 colonies being left unchecked. When the 13 colonies were left unchecked, their maritime law, their way of thinking, their way of judicial system, their way of rule has been left here. This is the Democratic Party today.
So Devin, I don't want to cut you off there, but being that this is going to be a long series,
we got parts of it, because I'm basically what I'm trying to do now is I had 280 years of life. I was in a pit with nothing to lose. My family, as y'all know today, the only one I give a fuck about is my mother. The rest of them is dead. But PDL is my family. These my brothers. This is what I've been in there. Hey, bro, you already know what it is in the system.
Right.
But if I can do it, anybody can.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
So we're going to keep everybody up with this as the whole process goes along, because we're going to make a difference.
Okay. Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. We're here with Devin. And give your last name, brother.
Harmon.
See?
Y'all know
go.
it. Man,
PDL.
Y'all know who them Harmon boys is.
PDL finest.
And just because your last name Harmon don't mean you a Harmon. If I don't fuck with you, to me you ain't a Harmon.
Professor Melly
Peanut,
Mel, the
kid,
Hood
win. I love
Postman.
y'all.
You know the vibe. We out.